Hello, and welcome to my channel, Stories and Poems for Long Winter and Summer Nights. My next story is called The Picnic Bench. Chapter 1. Alice was waiting for the moment when the picnic bench would come into view. After 2 weeks of rain and sunshine, the grass had shot up and the once transparent hedgerows were plump with foliage. There were yellow and white flowers everywhere, and the edge of the path was tinted mauve with clover. She desperately missed Spangles, her constant companion for the last 15 years. The final visit to the vet was one of the saddest moments of her life. She rounded the corner, and there it was, the picnic bench. This was her mid-walk stopping point and a chance to enjoy the vista over the lake. Most days there was no one there, but today there was the figure of a man sitting at the bench, watching the wildlife on the lake. She would not disturb him. She would stop only for a moment to take in the view. Just as she approached the bench, there was a terrific commotion. The male swan was marking his territory with a tremendous flapping of wings and a deep-throated quacking sound as he flew the length of the small lake, gliding into land just in front of the picnic bench. The man stood up and looked at Alice. Wow, what a display! Alice hesitated and then confided, "I call him Trubshaw." He looked puzzled. "Wait, yes, I see. The Concorde test pilot." Alice smiled. "You interested in aviation?" he asked, vaguely. "My grandfather trained as a pilot during the war. As did my great-uncle. He flew Lancasters but was shot down and killed over Germany. My grandfather was in training for Spitfires, but, after an accident he couldn't fly anymore." She paused. "If he had, and if he'd taken part in the Battle of Britain, I very probably wouldn't be standing here today. I've only just moved into Drayfield, so this is my first time in the park. Must say I'm impressed. Have you moved far?" "From Birmingham, downsizing." "And what do you think of it here?" "I love the fact that there's a city nearby, and at the same time we have lovely countryside. I used to walk my dog Spangles in here every day. She died last month, but it's a habit I can't break." "So sorry, very sad, like losing a member of the family." Alice's phone rang. "Oh, sorry, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Alice looked briefly at the man. "My friend is waiting for me," she mumbled and left hurriedly. That night it rained and turned colder. Next day Alice put on her boots and waxed jacket. It was chilly and damp as she set off for her walk. Nevertheless, the park was beautiful. She thought about the man she had met the previous day. So many millions of people in the world, and you only get to meet a handful in your lifetime. You would think it would be easy to make hundreds of friends, but that doesn't happen. She knew a lot of people, but mostly she was alone in the house in the evening and at night. She missed Bill, but couldn't ever imagine replacing him. And then she rounded the corner. She frowned. There was someone sitting on the bench. A male figure in a black raincoat. As she approached, she began to think that it might be him, the man from the previous day. He turned and smiled and moved over to let her sit down. "Hello," he said. "I wondered if I'd see you." "Oh, I'm here most days except when I have aerobics or a coffee morning or something like that. I've just been looking at the wild flowers. Even in this dreary weather, they look fantastic. They make the world a brighter place. Wish I knew what they were called." "Which ones?" "Why, is it something you know about?" "Not really, but when you're in here nearly every day, you look things up. There's masses of those yellow dandelion things. What are they called? That's rough hawksbeard, and the white one that looks like a petunia is bindweed. Some people say it's a nuisance. Maybe it is if it gets into your garden, but out here in the park I think it looks very pretty. Have you got a garden? No, I live in a flat, but there is a communal area, all looked after by the management company, which is just as well, as I haven't got green fingers. Well, I say that. Perhaps I have, but I've never tried. Who knows, I might enjoy it. And then Alice said something which, when she thought about it afterwards, felt as if she had lost control of her tongue. Why don't we walk round the lake? It only takes 20 minutes and I can point out some more plants. Without hesitation he stood up and they began to walk. I'm Alice, she said, and looked at him expectantly. He hesitated briefly and then, stumbling slightly on the words, replied, I'm Dennis. They met and chatted the next day and the next. They discussed books, their love of cinema and theatre. Dennis told her that he used to collect coins, and she told him that the only thing she had ever collected was stamps, and only for a brief period when she was about 10 or 11. The weather brightened, and once again Alice lost control of her tongue. Why don't we have a picnic tomorrow? The forecast is good, and this is, after all, a picnic bench. He studied her and smiled. Thank you for listening. If you're enjoying the story, don't forget to like and subscribe and look out for the next chapter. But this is all for now. See you soon. Bye!